Inside every living cell, there's a bustling transport system that ensures cargo, whether it's molecules or organelles, gets to where it needs to go. The proteins responsible for this transport are called motor proteins, and they use energy from ATP hydrolysis to move along cytoskeletal tracks. Today we're going to dive deep into two major motor proteins, kinesin and dynein. We'll explore their distinct roles, how they drive cell division, the movement of cilia and flagella, and even how medical conditions can disrupt their functions. Kinesin and dynein are two powerhouse proteins with unique roles in transporting cargo within cells. Think of them as the cargo trucks of your cells, each with a distinct route. Kinesin moves cargo toward the plus end of the microtubule, which is typically away from the cell body and toward the cell's periphery. In contrast, dynein moves cargo toward the minus end, heading back toward the cell body. The structural differences are important to note too. Kinesin is relatively straightforward, with two globular heads that interact with microtubules. Dynein, however, is more complex, made up of heavy chains, intermediate chains, and light chains. This complexity reflects its varied functions, particularly in retrograde transport, moving cargo back toward the cell body. Kinesin isn't just about transport, it plays a vital role in cell division, specifically during metaphase and anaphase. During these stages, kinesin helps pull chromosomes toward the cell poles, ensuring that the genetic material is equally divided between the two daughter cells. Without kinesin, cells couldn't divide properly. The precise movement of chromosomes is critical, as errors can lead to genetic abnormalities, which is why kinesin's function is so essential. Dynein has its own special role beyond transport. It drives the movement of cilia and flagella. These hair-like structures are key for moving substances, like clearing mucus from your lungs or helping sperm cells swim. Dynein interacts with the microtubules in cilia and flagella to generate a sliding movement, which allows these structures to bend and move. This motion is essential for the functioning of many systems in your body. Imagine trying to breathe if your cilia stopped working. Dynein's activity is crucial for keeping these movements going smoothly. Within neurons, motor proteins are especially important. Anterograde transport refers to the movement of cargo from the cell body toward the distal end of the axon or dendrite, and this is where kinesin comes in. It's responsible for delivering essential materials to the far reaches of the neuron. Meanwhile, dynein is responsible for retrograde transport, which moves cargo from the distal end back to the cell body. These opposing transport systems are like highways with trucks moving in opposite directions, ensuring that the neuron gets everything it needs to function properly, whether it's sending signals or recycling materials. Given how important kinesin and dynein are, it's no surprise that mutations in the genes coding for these motor proteins can lead to medical conditions. One such condition is Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease, a hereditary neurological disorder linked to mutations in the kinesin gene. This disease affects the peripheral nerves, leading to muscle weakness and atrophy. Similarly, defects in dynein genes are linked to primary ciliary dyskinesia, a rare genetic disorder where cilia don't function properly. People with this disorder often have difficulty clearing mucus from their respiratory systems, leading to chronic respiratory infections. Understanding how mutations affect these motor proteins gives us insight into the underlying causes of these conditions and could guide the development of treatments in the future. In conclusion, motor proteins like kinesin and dynein are absolutely essential for life as we know it. Whether it's transporting cargo across vast cellular distances, separating chromosomes during cell division, or powering the movement of cilia and flagella, these proteins are the engines driving many critical cellular functions. Without them, cells would lose their ability to transport materials efficiently, divide properly, and perform essential tasks like clearing mucus from the lungs. When these processes fail, the impact on human health can be profound, as seen in diseases like Charcot-Marie-Tooth and primary ciliary dyskinesia. If you're fascinated by how your cells keep everything moving, dive deeper by downloading the King of the Curve app or visiting us at kingofthecurve.org. Learn more about how the tiny proteins in your cells keep you going every day.